Hey y'all, so I want to talk to y'all about the ways that people are trying to manipulate the way we think and the way we react to things. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. So I had a friend call me the other day. He goes, I've decided a New Year's resolution. I'm not going to watch the news at all. He says it'll help me be better connected to my family. My stress will be reduced. I'll be less angry. And he went on and on and on about all these benefits of not watching the news. And I asked him, I said, what made you decide to do this? He goes, he said, it's all over my Facebook feed. It's all over, people talking and stuff, and they just think that we need to get away from the news and you need to have a healthier, fresh start to society and stuff. And I started thinking about, so if he's watching Facebook feed and it's saying don't watch the news, if he is on X and it's saying, stay away from the news, take a break from the news, and he's on all these other social media. I think he's big on MeWe, which I didn't even know existed anymore. All these big social media outlets, and they're telling him to stop watching the news. It makes you really think about, why do they really not want you watching the news? Because none of these companies or organizations or anything really care about our well-being, about our stress levels, about our health. If they cared about our health, then they'd quit poisoning our foods and all those type of things. But that's a whole nother topic. They don't want you to see what's going on in the news. They don't want you to be informed. They don't want you to be able to hold them accountable because of all the fraud. Look at Minnesota. And I just saw in Ohio with all the Somalis and all the billions of dollars being wasted. I don't know about you, but that pisses me off. When Doge was in full swing and USAID and everybody got in an uproar. Well, they don't want you in an uproar. They don't want you to know what the government is doing. They don't want you to be involved. They just want you to do what they want you to do. They've got, you've got to think about what big event comes up in 2026. Well, we have the midterm elections, and the government and the news media and all these places really don't want you to know what's going on, because then you may hold the candidates they want to win accountable and not vote for them. They just want you going through the line at Quincy's. They just want you to live your life and not pay attention to what's going on, so that you're ill-informed, that you just do what you're told. Just keep voting however you vote. And, I'm so upset that with what's going on in the world today, with all this fraud. Can you imagine how much lower our taxes would be? Which we really shouldn't even have taxes. But how much lower our taxes would be without all this fraud, without the billions of dollars that go missing. And I think that the surface has just been scratched on what is really going on. I think that if we really knew the levels of the fraud and the manipulation and the way that we, the taxpayers, are really being treated, that we would revolt and that they would not be able to keep their power. They don't want us informed because it interferes with their power. And that's all these people in government and Congress, all these elected officials, really seem to care about is their power. And you can't tell me there's not a bunch of fraud. If you look at, let's just say, the squad, what is it, Eon, the lady from Somalia, the Minnesota congresswoman, is part of the squad. She came in a couple years ago with a negative net worth. Like, she was negative $45,000 for student loans and that sort of stuff. And now, 5 years later, making $170,000 a year, she's worth $30 million. And if you look at the Somalis that were just on the news with some of these Democratic leaders, and they're like, oh, you know, fraud is bad, we know that, and we can't work and all this kind of stuff. The lady's holding her hands up like this. She's got like a 6-carat diamond ring on her hand. The other gentleman that was talking about how his daycare was broken into, and the only thing of value they stole was all his paperwork he needs to prove that he was really a daycare. He's wearing $3,000 glasses. Stuff you and I, the taxpayer, the one they're robbing from, is paying for. So stay informed. Don't fall to the social pressures of not watching the news. It's better for your family. Don't believe all that crap. The people that don't want you to watch the news are the very people that don't want you informed, because if you're informed, they cannot continue to manipulate you. Don't be manipulated. Stay informed. Vote on issues. Hold the government accountable. Hold our representatives accountable. Don't just walk around like a sheep with your hands in your pockets. Take action. Stand up for what you believe in. But you're not going to believe in anything if you're not informed. Good luck, stay safe, and stay informed. Thank you.